My beloved child, I see you trying to be strong. I see how you force a smile in front of others and go silent when no one's watching. I see the nights you lie awake, eyes wide open, heart heavy like stone, just hoping someone would understand. But still, you don't speak, because you believe that if you show weakness, everything will fall apart. You try to hide your pain, thinking you need to be okay for me to come near. But my child, you don't have to hide anything from me. I'm not afraid of your truth. I don't turn away from your chaos, your exhaustion, or the questions you don't dare to speak out loud. It's in the very moment when you can't pretend anymore, when you whisper, "Lord, it hurts," that I am closest to you. I step into the deepest wounds you thought no one could ever understand. I don't just listen to the words you manage to say. I hear the ones you can't, the wounds from your past, the words that made you feel worthless, the memories you tried to bury. I know them all. Nothing about you makes me turn away. In fact, it is those dark places I long to touch. You don't have to dry your tears to come close to me. You only need to be honest. If you're angry, tell me. If you're disappointed, tell me. I'm not hurt by your truth. I'm the only one who can hold that truth and never let go of you. There are things you've gone through that no one knows, no one asked about, no one understands. But I understand. I don't measure you by success, by smiles, or how often you get it right. I look into the deepest part of your soul, the part you've never let anyone enter. And there I see a heart still beating, tired, worn out, but still longing to be loved, to be heard, to be touched. I don't come with conditions. I come with mercy. And I want you to know, no pain is too small for me to care about, and no wound is too big for me to heal. Every tear you've shed, I've kept like treasure. Not one tear is meaningless. Not one fall goes unnoticed. Every time you feel lost, I am standing beside you. Every time you think you have nothing left, I am giving you what you truly need. I didn't come to make you tougher. I came so you could breathe, so you could fall into my arms without shame. You don't have to try to be better for me. I chose to love you, not because you earned it, but because you are mine. And true love never takes itself back. I know you once thought I only show up when you get things right, when you live well, when your faith is big enough. But I'm not like people. I don't love you for what you do. I love you because I am love. And true love doesn't depend on circumstances. Even when you doubt, I love you. Even when you turn away, I stay. Even when you can't pray, can't sing, can't even open your Bible, I'm still close, still holding you, still whispering to your heart, I have never left you. Maybe you blame yourself. Maybe you think you've messed up too badly to be forgiven. But I don't erase you from my story because of one painful chapter. I'm still writing. I'm still gently lifting you after every fall. I'm still quietly wiping your tears when you think no one sees. I'm still walking with you slowly, tenderly, without rush. I'm not pushing you to be strong. I'm inviting you to be honest. Because only when you allow me into the rawest truth of your heart can I begin to heal you from the very root. My beloved child, don't be afraid of your weakness. Weakness doesn't disappoint me. It draws me closer. Don't believe I'll leave you just because your faith feels small. Sometimes true faith is simply sitting in tears and whispering, God, please don't leave me. And that cry, even short and quiet, I hear, and I respond, not with thunder, but with steady presence, with a hand that never withdraws. with arms always open, with a love that never changes. I know you're tired. I know you've been holding on for so long, so today I invite you. Let me see your pain. Stop for a moment. Don't hide it anymore. I'm right here, and I'm not going anywhere. My beloved child. I know there are moments when you wonder, am I being punished? When pain comes, when everything falls apart, when your dreams shatter in your hands, you blame yourself. You remember your past mistakes, the times you disobeyed, the moments you doubted me, and you assume that what you're going through is because I'm angry. But my child, listen to me carefully. Pain is not punishment. I do not hurt you to punish you. My love is not like the love of this world. It keeps no record of wrongs, holds no grudges, and seeks no revenge. I do not use pain to teach you through fear. I draw you back with kindness. I do not find joy in your suffering. My heart is not cold when I see your tears. Every sigh you release matters to me. Every weariness in your soul I take into my heart. I never stand at a distance watching you suffer and say, you deserve this. No, my beloved, I come closer. I am right there, and I hurt with you. My love is never distant. It is never indifferent. It goes straight into the depths of your wounds to embrace, to cleanse, to heal. Maybe you've heard that I am righteous, and that is true. But righteousness does not mean harshness, coldness, or waiting to condemn. I am righteous in love. I see the truth and still love. I see sin and still make a way for forgiveness. I see brokenness and do not destroy you. I correct, but never wound. I guide, but never shame. When I lead you through difficult seasons, it is not to harm you, but to grow you, not to make you pay, but to help you see your worth. You may think pain is only loss, but I use what you didn't expect to bring about what you truly need. Sometimes you pray for peace, and I lead you into chaos, not to frighten you, but to show you that I am your true peace. Sometimes you ask for strength, and I allow you to experience weakness, not to break you, but to show you that true strength doesn't come from within yourself, it comes from me. Sometimes you ask for light, and I take you through a dark path, not to discourage you, but to teach you how to walk by faith and not by sight. Everything I do has a purpose beyond what you can see right now. You don't have to understand everything to trust me. You only need to know this: I have not forgotten you. I am not careless. I am not cruel. Everything I allow in your life, whether in seasons of beauty or in the darkest valleys, is held in my loving hands. I never abandon you in pain. I am using that very pain to create something precious, like the potter shapes the clay, like the refiner purifies gold through fire. I am using this process to clarify you, to shape you, to prepare you for something greater. You are not suffering without meaning. There is purpose in every tear. There is a lesson in every stumble. There is new life being birthed in every place you thought was only loss. I am building within you a heart that is stronger, deeper, more full of love and faith, not so you would just survive, but so you would truly live. My beloved child, if you were ever taught that I am a God who's quick to punish, let me erase that distorted image. I am not like that. I am a father who never leaves when his child is weak, who never uses a whip to drive you home in fear. I extend my arms. I wait patiently. I love endlessly. Even when you've lost your way, I don't use storms to crush you. I use those storms to gently guide you back. I do not use pain to make you afraid of me. I use love to turn pain into something sacred. I do not give up on you when you fall. Instead, I wait for you right at the place of your wound. I do not push you away when you fail. I draw even closer. Because what I desire is not perfection. What I long for is a heart willing to be healed, to be transformed, to live according to the value I placed in you. If today you are in pain, remember this: it is not a sign of punishment. It is the doorway to a deeper transformation. It is an invitation to come closer. It is a turning point in your journey. And in every single moment of that journey, I am here, not leaving, not silent, not far away, but closer than ever. My beloved child, there are things you can only truly hear in the midst of pain. When you are weak, when everything you once held on to slips through your fingers, when you can no longer carry the weight on your own, that is when your heart begins to open. Not because you are strong enough, but because you have come to the end of yourself. And the miracle is, in that very place of exhaustion, you begin to hear the deepest voice within your soul. That is when you hear me. When you fall silent, no longer trying to speak beautifully or pray correctly. When you have no words left to say, you step into the space where I am closest. I do not need polished speech. I need a true heart. I do not seek perfect theology. I seek truth found in tears. You do not need to learn how to speak properly. You only need the courage to stop hiding your pain. It is in your breaking that you learn to live authentically, not because the outside has changed, but because inside you are softening. You stop trying to prove yourself. You stop pretending to be okay. You begin to live honestly with yourself, and that very honesty brings you closer to me than ever before. When you finally lay down the mask of strength, you realize how much you need me. And when you truly need me, you begin to encounter me more deeply and more genuinely. Maybe you once believed you had to be in a church to find me, that you had to pray well, sing reverently, obey perfectly for me to listen. But my child, I am not bound by any of that. I meet you in the places you least expect, in your tears, in your anger, in the moments you no longer believe in yourself. I am not offended by your doubts. I am not disappointed when you say, "Lord, I don't understand." On the contrary, that is when I invite you deeper, not through understanding, but through the trust that I am still there, even when you cannot see me. Your silence does not drive me away. In fact, it is the space where I draw nearest. When you have nothing left to say, I hear even that silence. When you sigh, when you quietly place your hand on your chest and whisper in your heart, "Lord, I don't know what to do anymore," that is the prayer I treasure most. There are no words more true than that. There is no song more sincere than a broken heart still turned toward me. Pain breaks down the false layers. It strips away what is not real. It brings you back to your true self, the fragile, wounded but sincere child, and that is exactly where I meet you. I do not meet you at your strongest. I meet you at your weakest, because there is nothing in the way between us there. My beloved child, do not be afraid of pain. I know you do not desire it, but I also know that in pain you become softer, more genuine, and closer to me. Do not believe that pain is a sign of spiritual failure. Do not let anyone convince you that if you truly believed, you would never hurt. I too, while on earth, knew pain. I know the sting of betrayal. I know the weight of loneliness. I cried. I grieved. And I prayed in the deep of night, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. But I also said, Your will be done. And through that pain, something far greater was born. I do not let your pain be in vain. Every sorrow, every time you collapse, every tear you shed when you can no longer carry the burden, is a doorway opening for me to enter more deeply. I do not come in with judgment. I do not carry a list of your failures. I bring my presence, my peace, and an invitation. You can meet me right here. Do not wait until you are okay to come to me. Meet me in your pain. Do not think I dwell only in the light. I am also in the dark, not to let the darkness win, but to bring light to the place you thought could never be revived. If you allow me in, I will sit with you, not rushing to heal you, not forcing you to change, but simply being with you, listening, touching, and beginning a new journey. A journey where you no longer live from the surface, but from your true heart. A journey where your prayers no longer need to be perfect, just honest. A journey where faith is no longer a concept, but the very breath you take each day as you look toward me in your pain and still whisper, Please don't leave me. And I will answer, not with thunder, but with steady presence. You will know that I am not only the one who works miracles in the light, but the one who walks through fire, through water, through desolate places, just to be with you. And when you come through that pain, you will not only say, I survived, but I met the Lord, my beloved child. I do not stand outside your pain. I do not watch you from a distance with indifferent eyes. I do not observe like a spectator. When you are hurting, I do not remain still. I step into the midst of that pain, not to explain it away, but to carry it with you. I do not tell you to be strong or to forget. I say, I am here. Not just to comfort, but to stay with you. Right there, in the wound, I am present. Not as a king sitting high on a throne, but as a friend beside you, holding your hand, aching with your heart. I take that pain into my own heart. I do not say, that's your burden. I say, we'll walk through this together. Every tear you shed, every whispered word you're afraid to say out loud, I know it all. And not just know, I carry it within my heart. When I bore the wounds on the cross, I took on every weakness, every wound, every sin, and every sorrow of yours. There is nothing in you I have not already touched with love. My presence does not leave when you collapse. When others walk away, when the voice in your mind says, I have no one, I am still there. Not with cold silence, but with a gentle, steady presence. When you cannot get back up, I sit beside you. When you cannot pray, I intercede for you. When you can no longer believe, I believe for you. That is not pity. That is love that never withdraws. That is me, with you even in the wound. You do not have to heal alone. You do not have to pull yourself together to be worthy of my embrace. I hold you while you're still bleeding. I touch your pain without making you afraid. I quietly wipe your tears without asking you to explain. You do not need to explain, I understand. You do not need to hide, I see. And I do not walk away because your wounds do not discourage me. In fact, it is in that very place that I come closest to you. You used to fear that if people saw how broken you really are, they would turn away. But I don't. I see every crack and I stay. I do not come to judge you for why you got hurt. I come to bind, to cleanse, and to heal. Your wounds are not shameful. They simply say you are alive in a real world with real brokenness. And that is why I came. not to blame you for the pain, but to be with you in it. There are times you ask, why didn't you stop this from happening? And I know that's not a question seeking logic, but a cry from a hurting heart. I do not always give explanations, but I always stay, because there are things that if I told you now, you would not understand. But if I stay long enough and hold you close, you will know that I am real. And sometimes that is what your heart needs more than any answer. I am in the wound, not to show you how strong I am, but to show you that you are not alone. No one else can fully understand your pain, but I do. I understand because I have suffered. I was rejected. I was abandoned. I cried alone in the night, and no one responded. I did not learn about pain from a book. I know it because I walked through it for you. Not one of your wounds drives me away. They draw me closer, because I do not love the perfect parts of you. I love you. I love the broken pieces, the places you think are unworthy. Nothing can make me withdraw that love. Not sin, not scars, not your past. And because of that, you can let me in. No fear, no distance. No pretending to be fine. I do not rush your healing so you can quickly return to a normal life. I do not want you to just forget and move on. I want you to be truly healed from within. I will walk with you through each layer of the pain. I will be there in every sleepless night, every memory that resurfaces, every moment when you feel like you can't go on. I will not leave you halfway. I do not quit in the middle. I do not grow tired of your slow pace. I stay because you are worthy of a love that is patient. My beloved child, if you are hurting today, do not push me away. Let me in. Not to fix you quickly, but to be present. Give me space in the very place that aches, because where you feel the most pain is where I will build the most beauty. And that very wound one day will become the place where my light shines through to others. My beloved child, I know you are weary because the pain seems endless. There are days when you quietly ask yourself, when will I feel light again? When will this end? I hear that whisper in your heart even when you cannot find the words. But today I want you to know that pain will not stay forever. Every season of sorrow has its limit. No night lasts without end. There is no wound that I cannot reach. Maybe today you cannot see the light. Maybe you are walking through the fog. But that does not mean the light is not coming. I have already seen the end, where you are healed, restored, and beginning again with a freer heart. I do not deny that pain is real, but I am telling you that it is not eternal. It does not define you. It does not have the power to hold you in the dark. Pain is like a season. It arrives, but it will pass. Perhaps the winter in your heart is lasting longer than you expected, but spring will come. Not because you earned it, but because I am the one who makes all things new. I am the one who brings morning after the night, and I am doing that in you now, slowly, gently, but surely. I know there are moments when you have no strength to pray, days when all you can do is sit in silence and breathe, nights when you cry without knowing why. But even when you do not feel me, I am working. In silence and unseen spaces, I am healing the deepest parts of your heart. You may not see the end yet, but I have already seen your restoration. I have seen you smile again. I have seen you walking with lighter steps and a lighter heart. And I will not stop until that becomes true. You do not need to hurry. You do not need to force yourself to get over everything quickly. Healing is a journey, not a destination. And I will walk with you every step of the way. Every time you want to give up, remember that I have never given up on you. Every time you think nothing is changing, remember there are shifts happening within you that your eyes cannot yet see. Like a seed sprouting beneath the soil, quiet but alive, something is growing in you. Faith, gratitude, endurance, and mercy. And one day it will all bloom. I do not blame you for hurting too long. I am not disappointed by your tears. I do not say, you should be better by now. Instead, I say, I am here. Cry if you need to. Rest if you cannot stand. I will not leave. My love has no expiration. It does not fade when you are lost. It does not weaken when you feel small. It is strongest when you need it most. And in those fragile moments, I am glorified not because of your strength, but because you dare to believe that I still love, still wait, still heal. Pain teaches you to see the world differently. It softens you. It deepens your heart. It helps you realize that everyone carries some form of wound, and because of that, you stop judging others so easily. You learn how to listen without interrupting. You learn how to sit in silence without fearing loneliness. And you, the one who has known pain, will become a place of healing for others. Not with grand words, but with real presence, with a nod of understanding, with a timely embrace, with eyes that truly see. I am preparing you for this. Maybe you are not ready to believe that joy will return. I understand, but I want you to know this. One day, when you unexpectedly hear your own laughter and feel your heart lifted, you will smile and say, God was truly with me. And I will say, I never left. My beloved child, keep walking in small steps. No need to rush, no need to fear. Trust that a new day is coming, even if today still feels covered in mist. Trust that pain does not have the final word, because my love is greater than it. Let me continue to heal you, little by little, day by day, with a love that never pulls away and a presence that never leaves. My beloved child, I know you don't like pain. No one does, and I take no joy in your suffering. But I want you to understand this. What you are enduring is not wasted. Not a single tear you shed goes unnoticed by me. Not one moment of breaking happens without my presence. I do not use pain to punish you. I use it to prepare you. There are things you've asked me for, but before I give them to you, I must be sure your heart is strong enough to carry them. There are doors I am about to open, but before you walk through them, I need to be certain you are steady enough to step forward with confidence. I am shaping your heart through the very things you wish to avoid. You ask me for strength, and I allow you to walk through what makes you feel weak. Not to crush you, but to teach you to rise with a strength that comes not from yourself, but from me. You ask me for faith, and I lead you through places where no answers can be found, not to make you doubt, but to help you learn how to walk by trust, not by sight. You ask me for stability, and I allow the world around you to shake, not to cause your fall, but to teach you how to stand on the solid rock that is me. There are things only tears can teach you. Not sermons, not advice, but pain which stops you, softens you, and helps you see. I do not let you hurt just to see how much you can bear. I let you pass through it so that something unshakable can be formed in you. Some things are never forged in ease. They are refined only in fire, and that fire is drawing out what is most precious within you. I do not leave you in this process. Every day you endure, I am beside you. Every sleepless night, I am holding your heart. Every time you ask, "Why me?" I whisper, "Because I know you can, with me." You think you're too weak, but I see you becoming stronger than ever, because you keep going even when you feel like falling apart. And it is in that very brokenness that I am building what will endure. Think back to before, when you thought you wouldn't make it, and yet here you are. Not because you were strong, but because I never left you. And this time will be no different. You will get through this, not just to survive, but to be prepared for something greater. I do not waste pain. I turn it into foundation. Every time you choose to forgive while still bleeding, I am expanding your heart. Every time you choose hope while nothing looks clear, I am deepening your faith. Every time you choose to take another step while weary, I am strengthening your feet. You are learning what no school could teach. You are growing in the quiet, in the loneliness, in the tears. And these very things are making you different. You are being prepared not just for a better future, but for a deeper one, a more meaningful one, a stronger one, and a future led by me. You may not see it yet. I know, but I see it clearly. Like a potter shaping clay, every crack and every pressure has a purpose. And when the work is complete, it is not just beautiful. It is ready to carry something precious. You are that vessel. And I am preparing you to carry life, light, and healing, not only for yourself, but for many others. Do not let the process cause you to give up. Do not let the tears make you believe you're going backwards. I am here in the midst of it all, and I am saying to you, keep going. I am not in a hurry. I do not require perfection. I only ask for your willingness. I only ask that you do not turn away, that you keep saying, "I don't understand yet, but I'm still here." Because true preparation does not happen when you are sitting in success, but when you are walking through the rubble. True strength does not come from always standing tall, but from learning how to stand up again. I am using every moment to renew you from the inside out. And when you walk out of this season, you will not be someone who merely survived. You will carry light, compassion, and a deep faith shaped in the very place where you once felt broken. My beloved child, let me finish what I have begun in you. Do not fear. I do not abandon what I start. What I have begun in you, I will complete. And when you look back, you will not say, "Why did I have to go through that?" You will say, "Thank you, Lord, for not letting me stay where I was. Thank you for preparing me through the pain so I could walk forward in true strength." My beloved child, there is a precious gift no classroom can teach, and that gift is compassion. And do you know this? The deepest compassion is born from the very pain you once carried. When you have known what it means to be wounded, you begin to treat others more gently in their pain. When you have cried in the night with no one noticing, you never dismiss another person's tears. I do not waste what you go through. I turn it into something precious, something the world cannot buy. A heart that knows how to love, to empathize, and to withhold judgment. You have been hurt, and that taught you how to listen without rushing to speak. You have fallen, and that taught you how to lift others without looking down on them. You have felt lonely in the middle of a crowd, and that taught you how to be a true friend to someone in their moment of need. I do not ask you to be better than others. I want your heart to be softer, more honest, and tender to the pain of others. And the pain you once carried is the road that leads to that kind of heart. You once thought pain was just something to get through, but I see it differently. Pain, when touched by me, becomes the birthplace of compassion. You may not realize it, but every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, every time you choose silence and listening over quick conclusions, I am using your wounds to reach someone else's heart. I am not just healing you. I am turning you into a vessel of healing. You will love others more deeply, not because you are perfect, but because you know what it feels like to be broken. The understanding birthed through pain makes your love more patient, more gracious, less demanding. It softens your heart, widens your soul, and teaches you to receive others the way I received you. Without conditions, without demands. With true love, compassion does not appear on its own. It is born in tears. It is born in the moments when you whispered, "I wish someone would understand me." Now, you are that someone. You will see fear in the eyes of others. You will notice the trembling behind their forced smiles. You will feel the sighs others are trying to hide because you once carried them too. And this is what I am building in you, a soul that does not judge but embraces, a heart that does not boast but kneels, a person who is not perfect but who loves with the humility of someone who has been broken. You do not need to have answers for every pain. Your presence alone is enough, as long as it is real. Because you do not come to others to teach them. You come to walk with them. You do not say, "I know what to do." You simply say, "I've been there too." I don't have all the answers, but I have the heart to sit with you. And that is worth more than any explanation. That is compassion, the very thing that draws me closest to humanity. Do you remember? Do you? I once wept. I was moved when I saw others in pain. I didn't just teach. I stepped into every story. I touched the blind. I embraced the leper. I wept at the tomb of a friend. I did not come to teach people how to live. I came to love them in every breath, every tear, and every shattered dream. And I am doing the same in you. Not so you can become the best, but so you can become the one who loves the deepest. True love does not come from ease. It is born from pain that has been healed, from scars that no longer bleed, but still remind you that something once hurt and has now been redeemed. I do not erase the memories. I do not erase the past. I turn them into witnesses. I let them remind you that you were once loved, once rescued, once healed, so that you can carry that love into places where light has not yet reached. My beloved child, do not be ashamed of your pain. Do not hide your wounds as if they make you weak. Those wounds are the very places where my light will shine through. From the ground where you once fell, I will raise you up, not only for yourself, but for others who are searching for a reason to hope. I do not choose the strong to carry compassion. I choose the ones who have been broken, so they never forget how much they need grace. And from that humility they walk not as teachers, but as companions, not as those who give from above, but as those who love from beside. Let that compassion grow in you. Let your past pain become not a wall, but a bridge. Let everything you have walked through become a seed, and I will cause it to bloom in ways you never expected. The flowers of comfort, the flowers of empathy, the flowers of unconditional love. because that is who you are. The one who is loved, the one who has known pain, and the one I have chosen to love others more deeply than ever before. My beloved child, I know you've been through things that made you doubt yourself. You've thought that because you fell, because you failed, because you are not who you once were, I no longer want to use you. But I say to you today, with all the honesty of my heart, even though you've been broken, what I've planned for you remains untouched. My purpose for your life has not been destroyed by the past. No failure can change my mind. No moment of turning away can cancel my calling. Because I do not build your future on your missteps, but on my unchanging love. Maybe you think you've ruined everything. Maybe you believe that because you lost your way, you no longer deserve to move forward. But my child, I do not write your story with fading ink. What I have ordained will be fulfilled, not by your strength, but by my grace. I don't need you to be perfect to begin again. I only need you to be willing to take the next step from exactly where you are. Whether it's on broken ground or among ashes, I can create something new. I use the very things that were shattered to shine through your life. Do you believe that? The things you're ashamed of, the scars you want to hide, the pain you've cried over in secret, I will use it all. Not to remind you of failure, but to display the triumph of love. I do not forget your past, but I will not let it define you. I use it as evidence that nothing can stop my light when you let me work in you. You may feel unworthy of being called, but remember, I once called the weak, the deniers, the doubters, and the ones who ran away. I do not choose the strongest to do great things. I choose those who are willing, and I am choosing you. Not because you are flawless, but because I can do great things through your weakness. You don't need to hide your past. You don't need to erase the chapters that hurt. Those very chapters, when rewritten by my hand, will become the most beautiful parts of your story. They will help others see me more clearly, because they'll say, if God could do that in you, he can do it in me too. My beloved child, do not reject your calling just because you've stumbled. I do not entrust assignments based on perfection. I give purpose based on obedience and a tender heart. And I see in you, even through the pain, a heart that still longs to live fully and to be used for something good. Don't put out that spark. Let me breathe new life into the part of you that feels like it has gone dim. Every time you think you've missed your chance, I whisper, I can restore. I can begin again. Not just repair, but recreate. Better, deeper, more meaningful. I don't just piece broken parts back together. I form something new, something never seen before, something only a soul that has walked through brokenness can carry. I do not regret choosing you. Not for a single moment have I considered replacing you. No matter how unworthy you feel, I still look at you with tenderness. I see the potential within you, not because of your abilities, but because I know what I can do through you. And once my hand is upon your life, nothing, not even your past, can stop what I have planned. I want you to know that your purpose still stands. The calling is still alive. The dream I placed in your heart is not dead. It may be buried under ashes, but I see it, and I am reigniting the flame. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to know every step. You only need to say, I'm still here, Lord, and from that simple yes, I will write the next chapter. You've been judged, you've been labeled, you've been told you can't. But I say you still can. because I am with you. No accusation is louder than my promise. No sin is greater than my grace. No look of rejection can dim the look of love in my eyes. And from the very place where others dismissed you, I will raise you up to walk as one who is sent. Do not let your past lock the door to your purpose. Open your heart and let me come in, wipe away every tear, heal every wound, and rekindle the fire you thought was lost. You don't need to prove anything. I have chosen you, and that is enough. My beloved child, believe this. Your past does not dim your purpose, and I, the one who began a good work in you, will complete it. Not someday far away, but starting today, if you simply say yes. My beloved child, I know there are things in your past you wish you could forget, memories that make you lower your head, failures you try to hide, wounds you wish had never existed. But I say to you today, do not be ashamed of your scars. A scar is not a mark of weakness. It is evidence that you once fought, you once hurt, and you have overcome. I do not call you broken, I call you healed. And the scar is proof that I have touched you. Every scar tells a story, not one of shame, but of faithfulness. Because if you carry a scar, it means you didn't stop at the pain. You kept going, maybe slowly, maybe stumbling, but you didn't give up. And I was there, in every trembling step, in every moment you wanted to quit. The scar is the silent testimony that I never let go of you. And my child, do not hide it, because the very place where you were once wounded is the place where I will be glorified. No one believes in the light unless they see it has overcome the darkness. No one believes in life until they see it rise from death. And no one can fully grasp my love unless they see a life once broken made new again. I do not love you less because you have scars. I love you more because you allowed me to heal them. My love is not for the perfect version of you. It is for you truly and entirely, with everything you carry. Your scars are a reminder that I was there, that I wept with you, lifted you up, and gave you strength to keep walking. Every time you see the scar, don't be ashamed. Remember what I have done. Remember the night you cried and still opened your eyes the next morning. Remember the moment you thought everything was lost, yet I preserved your soul. Remember the day you felt you couldn't go on, and I placed my hand on your shoulder and whispered, we will not stop here. You don't need to hide to be loved by me. You don't need to be strong to be chosen. I chose you not because you had no wounds, but because through those very scars my light will shine brighter. Those who have never fallen cannot understand the beauty of being lifted. But you who have hurt, who have collapsed, who once thought you'd never rise again, are now walking. And that carries a strength no words can express. Your scars do not make you less. They make you more real, more compassionate, more understanding. They teach you to listen more deeply, love more gently, and embrace others with hands that once trembled. And I rejoice in that, because I do not need you to be strong like steel. I need you to be soft like clay, so I can use you as a vessel of grace, not for your appearance, but for the journey you have walked through. Remember this, my beloved. A healed wound no longer hurts, but it still carries power. It is a testimony. It is a silent song that tells of the love that redeemed a soul. Some may look at you and ask, why do you still carry that scar? But I look at you and smile because I see that you are still here, still moving forward, still victorious. You think what you went through had no purpose. I say otherwise. It is part of the painting I am creating. And when the whole story is told, your scar will be a bright place, not of pain, but of glory revealed. Do not hesitate to say to others, I was once weak. Do not be ashamed to admit, I once wanted to give up, because that very honesty will become a bridge. That vulnerability will open the door for others to come close to me. Not through empty speeches, but through a true story. The story of a soul that nearly fell, but was lifted by a love that never gave up. You are that story. And I am proud of you. So, my beloved child, carry your scars not with shame, but with gratitude. Gratitude that I never left. Gratitude that healing is still happening. Gratitude that you are living proof that grace is real. And every step you take, whether slow or shaky, is a declaration that I am still at work. You do not need to be perfect to be used. You only need to be honest. And if you let me in, I will use the very things you once feared to create something you never imagined, a life that brings light, hope, and healing to many others. My beloved child, I know you have asked, why do I have to go through this? Many times you have sighed without understanding why things happened the way they did. Many times you looked upward, eyes full of tears, whispering, Lord, does this mean anything? Today I tell you, with all my love and honesty, there is no pain that is wasted in my hands. Not a single crack is without purpose. Not a single tear falls to the ground without me using it to write something glorious. You may not see it right now, and I understand. Sometimes my presence feels hidden in the tears. Sometimes you cannot hear me through the pain, but I have never left. I am still working, quietly and surely. I am writing a story, not just for your life, but through your life, and the chapters written in tears are often the most important ones of all. You believe a beautiful ending must come from a perfect beginning. But I say to you, sometimes the greatest things begin with broken pieces. The pain you have endured is not random. It is the soil where I plant new seeds. It is the blank page where I write wonders. It is the deep space where I pour out my love in ways no one expects. No tear is meaningless when you offer it to me. No pain is wasted when you let me enter it. You may feel like you're moving backward, slowing down, or losing time. But you are not. You are being prepared. In my hands, every wound becomes a doorway for light. Every fall becomes a lesson in being lifted. And every sorrow becomes a chapter that shapes who you are meant to be. I do not need you to understand everything for me to work. I only need you to believe that I am here. Every time you choose to stand, even while trembling, every time you choose to love again, even after being hurt, every time you pray, even when your heart feels empty, that is when you are walking with me, and I am turning everything you experience into something of eternal value. You once thought pain only made you weaker, but I am using it to make you deeper. You thought sorrow was stealing good things from your life, but I am using it to grow the roots of your faith, to make you steady in the storm. You may not see the end yet, but I have already seen the restoration. I am not just healing. I am making you strong in love, firm in hope, and steadfast in faith. Every time you say, Lord, this is too much for me, I respond, I know, so I will carry it with you. Every time you think, "This brings no benefit," I say, "Wait and see. I am building something you never imagined." And one day, not too far from now, you will look back and say, "Lord, thank you that my pain was not in vain. Thank you for being there, for using even my brokenness to create something beautiful." I know there are seasons when you do not understand the purpose, days when my silence feels like abandonment. But it is in that silence that I am shaping you. Like the potter who needs stillness to mold each detail, like the seed that must die in the soil to bring forth life, like the darkness that must fall before light can shine more brightly. Your journey is not wasted. There is no pain I do not see, no sigh I do not hear. And if you allow me, I will turn everything you have suffered into a testimony, not only for you, but for others who will be touched through your story. My beloved child, you do not have to carry the weight of understanding everything. You only need one thing, to believe that I am still writing in your tears, writing in the silence, writing through the days when you feel helpless. And the words I am inscribing on your life are not only for healing, they are for glory. A chapter where you will not only be restored, but transformed. And the miracle is this: you do not have to wait until the pain is gone to find meaning. Even today, in the middle of the journey, I want you to know that every pain has meaning in my hands. For I am the one who never misses a single tear, and I am the one who can use the deepest pain to bring about eternal fruit. You are still walking, but not aimlessly. You are walking in my hand, and when that hand holds you, nothing is ever wasted.